Claudia here from Euroblast in Cologne. If you don't know the festival, check it out. It's a cool prog festival. We're here with the algorithm today. Happy birthday.
Oh,
That's the first thing we should do. And there's an album coming our way in 1 month's time about, right? And,
yes, exactly. Yeah. So the album is released on November 2nd. Mm-hmm. It's called Compiler Optimization Techniques, and it's 5 tracks album that's built around a story. So it's a concept album, and cool. It's basically just one track separated into different chapters. Mm-hmm. I would say so. After the release, we're going on tour in the UK and in Europe, and we're gonna play most of the new album, actually. Mm-hmm. We're really looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. Mm-hmm. Really excited.
Mm-hmm. So, when you're playing what you recently wrote, mm-hmm. Then how do you feel about these parts? Is it like a story that's telling you something personally?
I would say it's a lot about feeling and instinct also, and just feel the music. Yeah. But like Rémi said, it's a concept album, so on this new thing, it really tells a story from beginning to end, compared to the older stuff where it was more about one song is like this and then the other song is something different. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so when I listened to the new material, immediately I got that it was something like that. It was telling a story. So
the dynamics is one big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also for the drums, of course.
Yeah. I mean, for me, learning the songs, the process of learning the songs, is the same as before. It's just that the whole thing is gonna be more something. Yeah, like something that tells a story from beginning to end. So yeah. But right now I'm learning the tracks actually. So.
Yeah, everyone has to do that, right?
Writing them is something, but then once the tracks are done, we have to think about how we're gonna play them.
Sure.
I mean, for him, I guess it's all about learning drums, but for me, it's more about I've got to choose what I'm gonna play. So which parts, which synthesizers, which guitar parts, and it's all like this. It's another. Approach, and it's also being really creative and finding ways to make the live show interesting. Mm-hmm. You know, without sacrificing the actual songs. So it's going well.
But also for the performance, it's of course important for you, I guess, to have a flow when you're choosing your instrument for the live show, how to create your own personal flow, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. So, for example, in the first song, there's this section where I pick up the guitar and then I switch to bass, and in a matter of 30 seconds, I switch again to guitar and I switch again to keyboard, and it's very intense, but in a way that's it serves the song and it serves the performance as well, and it makes the live show interesting for me and for the audience as well, because they can see that we're really trying to bridge like I said, to find ways to make the experience really unique.
Yes.
You know, and I don't think many artists are treating that direction, and so it's all about experimenting and trying to find new ways to perform.
Well, so what is the story about, actually? Now you said it's one story.
It's I would say it's like a very abstract story. So there's nothing happening really, and but it's mostly succession of emotions that I chose to let out in a certain way.
Okay.
And then when I approached songwriting, I tried to write the chapters that would represent these emotions in this specific order. So I wouldn't be able to tell you, okay, this happens and then this happens.
Sure.
It's more like a feeling and
an inner travel.
Exactly, but I guess the main feeling of the album is this idea that I'm someone who likes developing myself a lot, so I always question myself, I always try to optimize myself or whatever, which is something that is represented in the album by the fact that it's very different from what we've done before, and it's always in this progression, and I think it's finding ways to express that idea, that the idea of being always in the research of something new, something that evolves. It's very abstract. It probably sounds really cheesy, like said in this way, but
I don't think so.
but that's the intent, and so the title actually tells exactly this idea, and it's all about trying to transcribe this emotion into musical form, and that's what it is.
And concerning your drumming, you're choosing, of course, also gear.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so how do you go about what you want to choose in order to get across the sounds that you have in mind? Or
Actually, I use a regular drum kit. It's kind of big.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff on it, and my approach is that I hear what Rémi wrote, and I try to play as close as possible to the parts he wrote, and then I try to add my own stuff, but it's like I don't think about it. It's while I'm learning the tracks and I play the stuff, and sometimes something comes up, and I'm like, oh, this is cool, so I'm gonna keep this thing and everything. And basically that's my approach. But gear-wise, it's a regular drum gear. Nothing special about it.
But you're like tuning your ear to what he is writing, and then you're trying it out.
No, I don't necessarily tune the drums in coordination with the music. I tune my drums like I would tune them for any situation. I want my drums to sound good for me and to sound fat and everything. And I think it matches well with the style of what we do, because it's pretty heavy. Live, it's a pretty heavy stuff. It's a lot about energy and everything, and so
I think choosing to use an acoustic drums also brings a different aspect to the live show, because the tracks are written with programmed drums, so like sample libraries and stuff, and having this acoustic sound and the power of the drum kit really brings something that's a bit different, and that's interesting to see once again for the people.
It's another experience.
Yes.
When you see us live, I mean, on the CD, it's a great thing, and when you see the thing live, it's something else. It's different. So that's interesting to have two different things, live or studio album.
Yeah, that was like a question I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
How you get that across? But that's really interesting to have, like the acoustic set.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to the live sound, of course, you're working together with other people. Again, for the record, also you're working like with somebody for an artwork, or?
I worked with Adrien Bousson. He's a designer. He worked for Season of Mist, a French label, and he's done the artwork for my side project last year, Boucle Infinie. It's a synthwave electronic album, and I absolutely loved what he did. He's incredible, and I'm so happy I found him, because his style really resonates with me, and it's a very detail-oriented work, and he's really good at like finding impossible patterns and like really rich, really rich and complex sort of patterns. And so he did the artwork for this album, and I can't wait to show it to the world, because wow, I was really amazed. And yes, we're actually announcing the album tomorrow, so October 8th.
Cool.
So can't wait to share this piece of art, I guess.
That's nice. And for the live sound, do you have your own sound technician?
Yes.
Yes.
So we've been working with Native for 2 or 3 years, I think.
Since 2016, I guess. I mean, we met him in 2014.
Yeah.
And then he did Euroblast in 2015, I guess.
Yeah,
and then
it was his first
show. Second, because in Israel he did our sound. And then we started to tour with him for Brute Force, for the Brute Force tour. And since then he is our sound guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good if you find people like that, right?
Yes, and because our setup is quite unusual, it's not like guitars, vocals, drums. That's it.
And that's it. Yeah.
Like we have like a lot of lines for synthesizer, electronic drums,
more than
bass.
20 lines, something like that. We are just 2 people, but it's a full mixer full of lines.
Yeah, sure.
So we need someone that really understands this setup and that's really used to it. And I think we couldn't be like sometimes when we cannot afford or logistically it's impossible to work with native. We have to work with some other technicians, and it's really hard for them to actually get the sense of what we're trying to achieve.
So it's like a technical writer that would go like, whoa!
Yeah, we try to keep it really simple as possible, but still it's a different approach. And so that's why, it's great that we have him, and we're really happy with what he's doing. And,
a quite philosophical question that's probably no answer to, or a lot of answers to. What is an artist? Who decides what an artist is? Or who decides who is an artist?
It's a hard question. Man.
I don't know. I kind of want to say everybody's an artist in a way, as long as art is just creating something out of your emotions. You feel something, you create something, and I think we do that by talking in a way, and so talking is an art. So everybody's an artist, I guess, and some people choose to do very specific art like music or painting or whatever, but that's just I guess that's more like passion. But yeah, I mean, art is everywhere. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm no more an artist than someone else. I chose to focus it in that direction specifically. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think also it's when you are an artist, and if you can't do what you want to do, then you're gonna be so unhappy, and you really have to do it. It has to get out of you. You feel that something has to come out of you. So I think when you feel this kind of thing, it's because you are kind of an artist. Yeah. So for me, for drums, for example, if I don't play drums, if I don't do some stage live shows and everything, I have an emptiness into me. I really need that in my life. I need this. So I would qualify it like that. Something that has to come out of you. Yeah.
So what is up next for you? Like, of course, you're presenting the album, and you're also getting on tour.
Yes, we're going on tour 2 weeks after the release. So we're doing mostly UK, bit of Germany, Netherlands, and Czech Republic. No, it's cancelled. So we're doing some shows, and there's going to be a second part of the tour later next year. Probably a lot of France and Italy, and more like South Europe, I guess. So we're doing this, and hopefully also working on more tours and festivals for next year. And I don't know, looking to also expand from what we've done before. For example, going to the US would be something we would be really interested in doing. So right now we're kind of trying to get into that. So I mean, there's a lot of opportunities, especially now there's a new album coming. So we are really expecting to find those opportunities.
And tonight we are lucky, and you'll do the DJ set on the Euroblast. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time,
That's cool.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
Every
it's
year.
gonna be the fourth time you do
Oh,
it in
cool.
a row. Yeah, and it's always great.
And I'm really happy they always ask me to do it because it's
Yeah.
so much fun, and I think a lot of people are enjoying it. And once again, like providing electronic music and something that's really like that's people, they listen to metal whole festival, and it's great that they can go to an after party that's very different and they can go crazy. I think it's very like it shows how the festival is open-minded,
Right.
and the people are as well. And I think it's a very powerful message in a way. And I'm not saying I'm Jesus or whatever. It's just it's very. I think it's a powerful message for people for being open-minded and trying to find things outside of what you're used to.
Cool. So thank you very much for the interview. Thank you.
That was great.
It was a pleasure.
And see you around. Go to the shows, guys. Listen to the album. Bye bye.